Rah Hokum for the Boxing Voice. I'm delighted to be here with Kalle Sauerland here in Cologne. Is this your hometown?
No, London's my hometown, but my gran lived in Cologne, so it's a city that's very near and dear to the heart, and a fantastic city, fantastic people, and we just had a great night of boxing, and what a great place to do it in, and very famous Sartori Zila. That's a little bit like the York Hall of Germany, so a great platform for the young and coming through fighters. You know, Dennis Radovan just defended his IBF European Championship, number 4 in the IBF rankings. He's going on to some big things, the boy.
Yeah, I'm really glad I've come over to Cologne. Beautiful city.
I'm sure you've had a great weekend. I mean, you know.
That's why I wanted to come here. I wanted a weekend in Germany.
I think there was still some West Ham fans nursing hangovers because Frankfurt's 45 minutes down the road. I saw 4 West Ham boys out today at lunchtime, and I had a chat with them. Obviously, as a Tottenham fan, I kept it very quiet, but yeah, no, it was a good vibe in here tonight. And you know, you see that German boxing, it's been on its knees for a while. You know, it's had so many good years. I mean, world champion after world champion, and now you see this new era coming through, and it's exciting. We had Sophie Wunderkind out tonight. She had a bit scary in the first round, and then she started boxing, and she's such a fantastic talent. Obviously, Leon Bunn, 17, moves to 18-0. You had Christina Hammer in the co-feature, 3-time world champion. She's on the hunt again, and you know, great athlete. And she wants that rematch with Clarissa Shields as well. But she's after a world title. Obviously, Clarissa Shields fighting Savannah Marshall, which is a great fight. But you know, she gets that world title, and then the winner comes into view for us. So. So it was topped off with Dennis Radovan, so I couldn't be happier.
Absolutely. Just ask you about some of the plans you've got for me. I mean, Dennis, as you mentioned, ranked number 4 in the IBF.
It's an interesting situation. So you've got Falcao, who's already the mandatory at 1. 2 is vacant. 3 is Patrick Wojcicki, who's with us, and 4 Dennis Radovan, who's with us as well. Falcao's with top rank, and I mean, you've got obviously the champion Golovkin. Theoretically, it should be Golovkin now against Falcao. The mandatory's overdue by a while, actually, so that the IBF will be calling that, I guess, very soon. He could apply for a special exception to make the Canelo fight, which I think everyone thinks is happening, bar any miracles. So really, that belt will be declared vacant at some stage, and it's going to be an interesting rush for gold, so to speak, in terms of how that works out. It'll either be Falcao at the moment, it will be Wojcicki actually, and not Radovan. They'll be the top 2. But at the same time, maybe they order Wojcicki and Radovan to fight an all-German sort of final eliminator to fight Falcao for the belt. I mean, it's all sorts that could happen. They're very exciting. It's fantastic to see 2 Germans at the top of the list again, and you know, it's very important, I think, for world boxing, you know, to have Germany back as a significant market. I mean, you know, not so long ago, 7-8 years ago, the German market probably was on half financially. I laugh now, but back the numbers up with the US. It was just Showtime and HBO, and there were 2 big German channels, 3, which were pumping as much money in the US Showtime and HBO were at the time. So that's why you had all the big heavyweight world title fights over here and stuff. And you know, it's coming back. You can't fake talent, and the talent though you see coming through, they won't all make it. Our stable in Germany is 7, 8, 9 fighters, whereas in the UK already I think we're at 15. In other parts of the world we also have about another 15 fighters. So our stable in Germany is actually for the smaller in the 40-year history of our company than it's ever been. But I think that it's also one that's very high in quality. You know, so you know, we don't need all 9 to make it, but if a couple do, just fine for Germany. I think it would be very important to have it back on the market. Also for the UK fighters who come over here, I mean, we had over the last 5 to 10 years, think about the amount of UK fighters that have fought on German soil, from David Hay, Martin Murray, Paul Smith, Rocky Field, and just to name a few, who've come over here and plied their trade and defended world titles, challenged for world titles, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. I remember something the late Glyn Leach of Boxing Monthly once said. I don't know if you remember him.
Of course, great writer.
He said something to the effect that he didn't want a German to win a world title because it then tends to disappear into Germany for the better part of a decade.
I like that.
Obviously, you've now got the expansion in the UK. Are you looking to do some cross-channel promotions?
I think always, in any sport, in any walk of life, England versus Germany or Germany versus England is always it's a natural, isn't it? I mean, we don't need to talk too much about that, but it's always it's always down that you don't really need to sell too much. The Germans, they love it, and the Brits love it as well. So it's a natural. It's for me that's the second step. For me, it's just important to have a German world champion again. There's so many over the years, and it's been a couple of years now, and that's obviously top of our priority list. And the exciting thing is they're all so young, and they're all really improving fight to fight. And that we as a company have always, with the exception of a few champions, have mainly made all our champions. We've match made them from day one and built them from day one from turning pro. And in the current stable, with the exception of Christina Hammer, who's just joined us in the last couple of fights, we built every single one up from scratch. So we're very proud of that, and it's something that I think will reap the rewards. I think my brother does that part of it. I can't take credit for that. I'd like to, but he does a fantastic job on the matchmaking part of it. It's, and the sporting team supporting him. So he's done a terrific job in bringing them through, and it's my job to go and sell them.
Absolutely.
Am I doing a good job selling them?
Well, I gave up the chance to go to Las Vegas to come here, so
fantastic.
Sold them.
It's all about loyalty. Vegas.
On Christina, wouldn't the logical thing be to challenge Franchon Cruz Dazn for the super middleweight title?
Yeah. I mean, there's a few options. One of them. I think the key is, you've got. I don't want to make that catchweight to suddenly so easy to make in female, but it's a lot easier than in the men's division sometimes. Although we're talking tonight, there's a big fight going on in Vegas, and someone who's gone through 7 weight classes, I think it is. But I think that Christina really wants that rematch with Clarissa Shields. I think it's almost like, it doesn't matter if she wins or loses against Savannah. She feels that. She's won. Christina Hammer's won 3 world titles already, so she would love a world title again. But I think it's more she'd love the rematch with Clarissa Shields, even if it wasn't for a belt. So it's a little bit saying that she's very, and you can see she's a very motivated lady.
Usually a good sign when a fighter's obsessed with a particular opponent.
Like, for her, that's really in her mind, and the devil, she's coming right behind you. She's a cracking talent, and she's proven it in the sport, and she'll prove it again.
Talking of cracking talents, I mean, young Sophie Wunderkind is the word, I believe.
Yeah, Wunderkind, but there was a scare in the first round tonight. I haven't seen the replay. A lot of people telling me it was a knockdown. I still would have given her the fight, of course, but she's got to work on certain things. But at the same time, she's such a talent, and I think she's natural to become a world champion. Take it step for step. Activity's key. She's been out already twice this year. She was out a couple of months ago. Out now. She'll be out in a couple of months again. We'll keep that rolling.
I'm already thinking ahead. the super fight in a few years has got to be her against Matchroom's Golden Girl Sky.
Yeah, I don't think too long in the distant future. You know, I think that's a great one. Yeah, for sure.
Just want to ask about some of the other fighters on your stable that weren't obviously active tonight. Obviously, Kell Brooks announced his retirement, so
yeah,
Chris, he needs another big fight.
I wish Kell all the best in retirement. He's had a fantastic career, a very tough career. He's had some really tough fights. I was there the night before Spence. We had George Groves as the co-feature that night, winning the world title up in Sheffield. It was a fantastic atmosphere. He's had a tough career, you know, and good on him. A bit confused around, I don't know who was talking to who on his side, why we went through the whole process of agreeing weights for a fight that, you know, we would end up telling us he's retiring 3 months later. And we have been up that path. Luckily, we got always a B plan in boxing, and we have been caught on the wrong foot there. So still all gung ho for a big summer fight for Chris, and it's taken a bit of time, but good luck to Ken in retirement, as I said.
Is it fair to say that it being your interest if Bivol scuppers the plans with Triple G? Because he'll then need a big fight.
Yeah, it would be, but it ain't going to happen, is it? I mean, Bivol is not going to... I mean, by the time you put this out, I'll probably be proved totally wrong, and Bivol scores the biggest upset in sporting history.
Well, I'm already putting it out there. I'm going for a Bivol win.
Well, I'm telling you now, Bivol... I rate Bivol as a fighter. Obviously, I think Canelo is a different league. I think Canelo is just coming on as a fighter, and he's going through the weights, and I think Bivol's not big enough to make an impact. I don't think that Canelo can go to cruiser, but yeah. Press conference about to
Absolutely. Kalle, always a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure hosting you.
Thanks for having me over in
Looking
Cologne.
To see you soon.
Hopefully next Friday.
Back here. Yeah, next Friday, the O2. Looking forward to it.
See you then.
Take care.
Thanks, Kalle.
Yo, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.